Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. You know, every year is a gradual moving into peace, moving into who we really are. Every year, our consciousness gets a little bit lighter. Every year, it seems to be a theme that brings us more and more into the light. But somehow I feel, and I hear this from others, this year, today, we start today, is more than a gradual opening to a greater light. This year, we are in the immersion of light and love. This year, honestly, I feel it's a true year of joy. And I really thank you guys that leave your pictures on. I really appreciate seeing you. I really love you. And it's what connects me. So thank you everyone for your smiles, for your everything. But we are the hands and the feet and the voices of joy. And if we're going to let that be, you know, we were talking earlier this week, James talked about how we have to be in resonance, our heart and our mind, in resonance with love. And essentially, the way to be in resonance is to be out of the way of love and let love be its natural state. And we are part of it. It's going from the identity of being separate beings tied up with separate bodies and little lifestyles to being part of the flow. We're part of the flow. We're part of the all. And this is, and for me, this year has been a lot of that, learning to listen with all of my being to the flow that's underneath appearances, underneath my physical senses, that's being in tune with something deeper, stronger, and greater. And I feel that is what is happening for all of us, and that we have come into the place where we can be safe in that. And part of our safety comes from the strength we have from witnessing this in each other, that we are finally resting into heaven. We are relaxing into our natural state of grace. It's not something we have to process to get to. But we did, like Calico says, we needed all of the forgiveness work, all of the processing, all of the workshops, all of the workbook lessons that we have all done these many, many years. For me, it's been over 40 something years just around the Course in Miracles and similar things. It's been at least half my life and most of my life being tuned in spiritually, as I see in this room. It's for most of us that way. And this is the year that we can relax. I honestly feel in my heart that the best way to stay out of the way is relax. Relax and enjoy. I say this a lot, but to enjoy the moment is to be present. And it's to be present to more than the appearances, but to be present to the flow of love that's ongoing. And we've spent time in recognizing that the world is not as we see it. It's not a real place. It comes from projection. We've taken and accepted the ideas in our minds. Now it's the time to let those ideas bear fruit in our own direct experience every day, about not looking outside of ourselves, that when we're stumped or we're shaken up, to just step back and relax into it. Let all the symptoms of the shakeup, let them come and let them go. They will go if we let them come, if we identify them and work with them, and that's strengthening them. If we try to figure them out, if we look to the past, if we do any of that, we're strengthening the foundation of a split identity of fear. If we let it come up and say, it shook me up, let it come up, let it go, rest into it, and behold it. That I love Joel Goldsmith's stuff, his infinite way language. Behold everything, because the word behold for me, it has a sense of wonder. Let it be with wonder that we look at everything fresh, because if we let go of our old ideas, and that's what a new year is, letting go of all the past ideas. Everything is a past idea to us. If we get present and we look with wonder, the past is not going to continue to drive us. It may continue to be in the appearances that we look at, but it won't be the driving force underneath us. The driving force will be this welcoming and beholding. When we don't have to get out of it by all the processing, even by heavy meditation and spending hours meditating, we move into a way of abiding. That abiding in restfulness, in grace, is a way that this past may come up and also it will go. Because we are now in a place where we do accept that our natural state is joy. We know this is true. No one has to convince us anymore. Our natural state is a state of joy and unity and oneness, not just with each other, with the allness of everything. And the allness of everything is a different code. It's not under the law, like the law of karma, the law of time and effect, the law of cause and effect, the law of time, the law of disease, the laws that we've made up. We don't have to unmake them. We just have to stop making them by believing them and reinforcing them and then feeling like we're victims of them. Instead, we can look at them. Like today, I was just downstairs with my brother-in-law, Harvey. Some of you know Harvey. He's so much fun. So Harvey went, and I was singing Young at Heart because I said, Harvey, we just have to really stay young at heart. We have to look at everything like a kid does. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? And he was saying, oh, but I can't eat breakfast because it makes me fat. And I said, Harvey, the breakfast doesn't make you fat. The believing the breakfast makes you fat. He says, oh, no, the breakfast really makes me fat. And I'm sitting there and I said, Noreen, my sister, does the breakfast make Harvey fat or does the believing the breakfast makes the Harvey fat? Now, Noreen's not a Course in Miracles student, but she's a student of love. That's what we all are, right? She said, no, Harvey, it's believing it. And imagine that it's been the believing in it that's caused us to have symptoms and this and that. And whether the symptoms come or go, whether we gain weight, we lose weight, we have a sickness, we don't have a sickness, it's so what to it all because we're not these bodies. These are little communication devices. And so what how they show up? Let them show up, play with them, fix them, be gentle with them, be grateful for them, play with them, but don't be bound by them. We're moving from the law of time and separation to the world of abiding grace. Imagine that. And we are doing it together this year. There's no preaching, there's no anything to get anyone to believe it. We know it. Now we do hold our hands steady with each other. And when we make a mistake and we fall back into the soup, all we have to do is just step back, pause, big time for pause and rest. Pause and rest and say, oops, I fell back into the old beliefs. I don't want to believe in those anymore. Everything is full of light. Life is light. Life is love. Let me slip and abide and rest into the love. And like a quote I read the other day, and let the grace of love wash away the mists of our dreaming of stories. We've been dreaming of stories. Let them be washed away. So the big word is let. Let. By not interfering. Don't go overthinking. Don't go overdoing. Don't correct a million things. We're learning how to move from inspiration instead of stress. We go from stress to grace. We can do this because we're already doing it. The difference is when we have a determination and a commitment to be happy, to be free, to be innocent, that's what drives us so that we can smile at our old beliefs and smile when it looks like it comes up to bite us and welcome it, let it pass. It's still the same directions for being out of the way and letting what's natural, our natural joy, our natural peace, come into full expression and into our full experience. And whether it comes in a moment or takes 10 moments, present trust and gratitude. Thank you that the truth is true. Fill our minds with the truth. Don't be going into the looping of the old thinking. Of Course in Miracles, the first thing Jesus says is an untrained mind cannot do anything except keep spinning around on a merry-go-round of old beliefs of separation. All we're doing is we've jumped off that merry-go-round and we might still be watching it, but we're not pumping it and making it go anymore. Instead, we step back and we can laugh at ourselves the way kids laugh at their games. You watch kids, they'll build these gorgeous sandcastles on the beach, and then 2 seconds later, bam, they bust them all up. They kick them and they have more fun kicking them and making a mess out of them. And it may have taken them hours to build it. It's the same thing. Don't worry about them. Let them fall apart, because I know I wonder what's God's plan for me. I have never been this excited for a new year in many, many years. I don't, because I know it's coming from the love and the joy inside of me. I know it is. It's certainly not just coming from reasoning. It's coming from knowing that we are on this threshold of launching heaven on earth by our little things, by our being together, by two saying, no, I don't believe those old laws. And so what? Let it be what it is. I'll step back. I'll watch it. I'll watch it with wonder. These are the things that I see for myself: wonder, gratitude, and trust, right? And not being afraid to ask for help. Like Calico said the other day, when it's a mess, just help. Help, I want to stay out of the way. Help, take over. With Karen Palmer. Stop, what is it? Spirit, take over, please. That's her for stop. Spirit, take over, please. I'm in the way. That's all we want to do. This can be a year of relaxing, of resting, of enjoying and celebrating each other, not with a rush in it, not with a frenzy, not with a dizziness. I've been the queen of dizzy busy most of my life. I could be very dizzy busy, feeding 1,000 people in an hour. It's like I could be very dizzy. But this is not that. This is resting and watching a banquet and a feast show up in front of us. It shows up in grace. It shows up in surprising ways. Someone might walk in with a platter. Someone might walk in with a song. Someone might walk in with a new robes to put on us. Let it be us, be open, relaxed, and enjoying. That's the year we're moving into. We've gone from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and this is the year where we're moving, and it's palpable, from the New Testament to the resurrected life, to heaven on earth. Simply that. We are the unfolding book of what life from unity looks like. Life from only love, only God, only now. This is what it looks like. It looks like us on at Namaste Village, on Zoom, on YouTube, and many families all over the place, joining together in trust, in gratitude, and in innocence. We are already innocent. We don't have to go figure it out or atone for anything past. There is no past. There's only right now. So this is a family call. James, I think, was probably up celebrating last night, and I never know the time. Is it? I think it's a good time to turn to you, Calico. Then I'll take it back if when you're done, and then if Scott's in the room, we'll sing. But you know what? Does anyone have anything they would like to add? Does anyone have a song? This is the time to share the joy. Anyone have a song, a poem, anything they want to share? I can't see everybody's hands to see if they're up. Chris, do you have something? Or somebody there want to get on the mic? I can't hear you, Chris. Okay. Oh, I see movement. Okay, Scott's going up. Okay. So Calico, should we go to you and then to Scott?
Whatever.
Go ahead.
I will say, because I was just sitting here thinking, because I look at all you guys, and I am also grateful that people put their cameras on. And it's kind of like, I don't know you, and I know you, capital Know. And it's like, Carrie, you and your dog gets to go to the dog park a lot. I see you driving, and then you take off. And I just thank you for taking your dog to the dog park. Lorraine, you have the most beautiful smile. Thank you for smiling. Bonnie, I love your fireplace. It is the most beautiful. I think it's a Yule. Anyway, I have something to say about all of you because I see you every day. You're in my heart. And this, and I did a New Year's, well, it was a New Year's resolution for the day. I'm going to celebrate every day of this year every day, not a whole year. I can't think a year in advance. It's way too much time. So today is, I'm going to accept the atonement on everything I see. Everything, everything, everything. I'm not going to let any little grumble go by without me owning it. So if you have grumbles, bring them to me. I'll take them because I am just at this point where Vicky is too, I think. It's like, let's get joyful. And I've gotten so good at accepting the atonement on all this shit. I'm fine with it. Bring it in. Just give it to me. I can handle it. I can laugh at it and I can move on. I had a real miracle just first thing this morning. I clear Facebook first thing in the morning and I went on. And one thing about Facebook is you don't know when people unfriend you. You just don't know. Except when they friend you again, they have to friend you again. And you thought, oh, I didn't know we weren't friends. And it's like, and this morning, there was someone that friended me that I know we'd been friends. And then I thought, oh, yeah, he was really pissed at me for a moment, and it's like, okay, I'll own it. I'm not sure what I did, but I did something. They got personal and now they're back. Okay, all is well in the world. It's kind of like I'm willing to take on the atonement for this year, every single thought. And the other thing is, I want to really experience love in every thought and action that occurs in my view of the world. And the other thing, here is a true miracle. I can't understand my camera. Look how light it is. And I have the darkest room at Namaste. I kid you not. It is the darkest room here at Namaste. And I switch it around and it's like I clean the camera off and it's like nothing works. So I'm fading out in the light of love. I'm so happy with it. And I invite you to join me here. And like I said, if you have grumbles, you don't have to be in my presence. Just send them to me in thought. This really pisses me off. Okay, fine. I'll take it. I'll clear it and I'll send you back joy and love. Okay. Because obviously the face doesn't mean anything at this point. Anyway, thank you so much, Vicky. And everybody, you are my family. And you don't, if you put your cameras on, I see you. There's Claire. Claire, move the camera up so you can see your whole face. You've got a beautiful spirit. And it's kind of like, so it's just, I love you guys. Anyway, I know you can't see me. See, I'm out of it here. Okay, bye.
Oh, is that what an ascension looks like? Dissolving into light, Calico. And Claire, she's right. You look like a little angel in the corner, and we want to see the whole angel. Thank you, Calico. Thank you guys for turning on your light. Look at who's here. Everyone's here. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to read you this one sentence and then I'll turn to Scott. I'm going to see if I can do this. Hold on. I might disappear for a second. Here's what Calico just said. This is true. So Calico, when she invited all of us to send her your woes, your cares and woes, and she'll take them to the altar of the atonement there. And this is what happens. Thoughts of love radiated to another person will lift him higher than your many words of advice or very much talking. for they will go forth and silently feed his soul. And within himself, he thanks you for this soul food. So that's what Calico just offered, soul food for anyone that needs it. And we've been doing this a lot because that's all it takes. You don't have to identify the issue. Oh, this happened, that happened. Just oops, I fell into the muck again. All of it is muck of what's not real. Will you join with me a minute and airlift me out of this? So this is a quote from the followers of the present day Jesus, and I love uh, the way they've described Jesus. So this is Jesus in a quote from one of their works. Learn that of joy you are made, and joy is your heritage, and know it is for you every moment. Then you shall know that your experiences of learning are to be your new joy, not fear, not sorrow, not cringing, not clinging, not dragging, and not resisting. Why? Because they free us to present greater joy. So let them come. But in joy, do you draw to you this new learning and this new step? Call it not wrong, call it not a problem. Call it yours, your gift of freedom, your gift of greater joy right now. So, okay, Scott, let's see. No, I don't have good on timing here, but I'll turn it over to you and let's see what little lyrics or words come from your heart. Okay.
All right. Well, why don't you start me off with the first sentence of that quote you just quoted?
Okay, let's see. I will. Um,
Followers of the present day Jesus.
okay. Learn that of joy you are made, and joy is your heritage.
Okay. Time to learn. Joy is what we're made of. Time to know it without all the doubts. And if you've got some grumbles, Calico will take them. Just send them her way, don't try to figure them out. She'll turn your grumbles to gratitude, 'cause that's her prevalent attitude. No, it's not a platitude, it's real. It's time to be healed. Joy is what we're made of, the rest is traffic noise. You can tune it out and tune into pure joy. Pure joy is the only thing we need to tune into. It'll help you escape from the bars at the earthly zoo. So happy 2025. Happy eternal life. There's no years to count, there never was. All the calendar years were created by our fears, and time will dissolve as we open to love. Open to love.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Scott, you want to give us the great amen? Happy New Year, everyone. And for you guys that are on the EPP program, or any of you that have already done it and want to join, everyone's welcome. And thank you all for joining in love in God and now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead, Scott.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Y punto.
Punto. Thank you. Love
Happy
you
New
all.
Year.
Love you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Love all of you.
Thank
Keep them laughing.
We'll see
Yep.
you